Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 18th of October. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. Now, as ever, I'm going to give you the key strands for the week in a brief overview and then dive deep into each zodiac sign. So this week, the key features are that, yes, Jupiter and Mercury go direct on Monday. Jupiter is the planet of growth, of traditional astrology, of good fortune, and it's also the planet of expansion. So over the last 4 months, as it rewound from the sign of Pisces and back into the sign of Aquarius, we have found perhaps that some of our social aspirations have kind of been a case of 2 steps forwards and 1 step back. We can see in some parts of the world, for example, that COVID lockdown has been imposed in a much more stringent way, other areas a bit freer. But Mercury going direct in the sign of relating, Libra, is definitely something to appreciate. Also, the ruler of Libra, Venus, is in a fine link with Mercury and also Saturn this week. So those constructive relationships can really take a step forwards in a way which we're going to be pleased about. Also, Mars, the planet of passion, in the sign of Libra still, is forging an awesome angle to Jupiter for much of this week. So around a group situation or where we feel a sense of unity around a shared idea, again, a lot of thrust and speeding up. A contractual situation could also be resolved this week. But the Sun does square up to Pluto through the week. And Wednesday's full moon in the sign of Aries is kind of deep and passionate because of that square from Pluto to the moon and also the Sun. It's sort of pivoted in a T-square. And if there are deeper relationship problems around perhaps some leverage or coercion, or someone seems to always have to be in charge and not embracing the more equilibrium credentials of Libra, that could see some politics burst into the open, which may need to be resolved. And then on Saturday, the Sun returns for the first time in 11 months to the deep dive sign of Scorpio. Now, the whole progress of the planets through the sign of Libra has been very much the conversation. The movement of the Sun into the sign of Scorpio is to understand what that conversation was really about. So anything about shared resources, intimacy, sexuality, in terms of a more practical context, anything to do with investments, entrepreneurship, legacies, pensions, savings, all of these things can come under the astral microscope over the next 4 weeks. Now, please stay with me for your deep dive on each of the zodiac signs. But if you are new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you'd subscribe. Also, if you'd like to get your free daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, I've been writing them for over 25 years. My work features around the world on some of the biggest platforms out there, so you can subscribe for free below. Or with year 2022 racing up quickly, grab your 2022 personal forecast. And if you order now, you'll get the rest of this year 3, plus a character analysis and 30% off. Please see the link beneath this video and gain searing insights for your prospects ahead. Hello Leo, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for week commencing the 18th of October. Mercury and Jupiter go direct on Monday. Mercury is the planet, of course, of communication, but it's also linked to commerce or anything to do with business and technology in the 3rd house, where it's been for you. So if you have been experiencing some snags or snaffles since the 27th of September, hopefully these will start to resolve themselves. Jupiter, like Saturn, is in your sector of relating. So having Jupiter direct in this area can bring some good fortune to you around a relationship matter from now through to the last 3 days of 2021, when then Jupiter moves back into the sign of Pisces, which is your sector of longer term finance. So the year could end with some piece of good news there too. And the other thing to share with you this week is that Mars's angle in your third house with Jupiter is one of the most upbeat and dynamic relationships that we can have between two planets. Mars is about action, of course, and Jupiter's about hope and belief. So you may find yourself aligning with someone in a very constructive way, but it may all start to race forwards in such a quick manner that only a few weeks ago you could never have imagined that this issue could speed up in such a positive way. Also, Venus in your sector of romance and love and playfulness and sociability, that's linking well with Mercury and also with that steady eddy that is Saturn. But that does bring us to the full moon, which occurs on Wednesday. Now for you, the pivot is across the third and the ninth houses, whereas Pluto, which T-squares these two, is in the sixth house, which is more to do with your welfare, life organisation, and where you're making sacrifices. But this electric energy across the third and ninth house sees you want to be freer and flexing and exploring things a bit more. But Pluto's just there reminding you that it's not going to be completely possible to perhaps just follow your whim. So just bear that in mind. But as the week draws to a close, despite this explosion of pacey energy, which could see you want to be more on the move or more active, the sun does arrive in the sign of Scorpio, which is about pausing and thinking more about issues to do with home, family, emotion and nurture. So a very, very exciting week, but you'd probably be keen to take a bit of a breath and just find some still moments as the week comes to a close.